to leg 6. We are
Six. How did we get here? This is amazing.
one state at a time.
Okay. What state is this time?
We're in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Home sweet home.
I'd say so. That's a very familiar state for us.
It is. It kind of takes us back to our roots.
Yeah, because the first road trip Shawl we ever did was Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
So it's kind of fun to be back here.
You would think we had kind of exhausted the possibilities because that whole Shawl was focused on Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but no.
There's 67 counties in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
How do you pick just one spot?
Yeah, there was a lot left, so we're going to keep going.
Yeah, and since Pennsylvania borders a Great Lake, which one?
I would say probably Lake Erie.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, Pennsylvania got included in our Great Lake Shawl.
This is good. I love it.
So, what did you do in Pennsylvania?
Well, I went from one end of the state to the other.
Of course you did.
And I was looking at football teams, of all things.
Are you trying to bring unity?
That'll never really happen, only in the Shawl. But we have the Eagles end of the state and the Steelers end of the state. So my clue incorporates both. So I have like little bird shapes for Eagles, and I have beams for Steelers because
there you go.
Pittsburgh was a steel town. So
yes, it was.
Therefore, we have the Steelers. So I had a lot of fun with this Shawl. We live right in the middle of Center County, so we can go both toward Eagles and Steelers, and it's all good.
We can.
Yeah. So where did you go?
So I went to the part of the state that bumps right up against Lake Erie.
Not shocking. You've been
shocking.
Consistently doing that.
Consistently
so,
hugging the coastline.
So what did you find there?
I found a museum with a floating exhibit.
Oh,
that
sounds like fun.
U.S. Brig Niagara, which is only a part-time floating exhibit for the museum because it actually does tour the Great Lakes.
Oh.
And the vessel is used for training people on how to sail tall ships. And so it actually navigates all over the Great Lakes.
That's really neat.
Yeah, you could sign up to be a crew person and learn how to sail a tall ship.
You know, I've never thought of that. There has to be someone who learns how to do that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the history of this ship?
Well, the U.S. Brig Niagara was built in 1812 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
About the time...
I'm guessing the War of 1812.
Ding!
Okay.
Yes, so it was in Lake Erie, and it was used in the battles that were happening there to help protect the U.S. from the British invasion. And it was instrumental in that, and that was good. And it had served its function. And then in 1820, it was sunk. And it stayed sunk for a while.
Okay.
And then in 1913, 100 years after the war, it was raised and refurbished as part of the centennial celebration of the war.
Okay.
And so it was that way for a while. And then it kind of deteriorated. And so in the 60s, they had another effort to refurbish it. And then again in the 80s, they really, really overhauled it. And unfortunately, a lot of the original stuff just was gone.
Yeah.
So there's a question, I guess, from a preservationist standpoint of how accurate a representation or replica it actually is. And yet it's still a functioning ship, and it's a tall ship, and it's used, to teach people how to sail tall ships.
That's so cool.
So,
and I'm sure that the bones of the ship are still there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. So my clue, it was interesting because I really wanted to do something that had rigging of some sort to it. But when I found the pattern I wanted to use, my first thought was waves. And it's kind of a mix of the two.
Okay.
Which makes sense because a ship has rigging and the sails, and it has riding on waves. So yeah, it's elongated stitches, and then you reverse the order of the stitches so that they kind of cross. Like so.
That sounds cool.
It is really cool and really easy, surprisingly easy to do. And then there's a nice little wavy garter stitch in between.
Oh, then we both have a clue this time that's a little bit of a kind of laid back clue.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Very good.
That'll be fun. I think you've done another ship mast.
Oh, me and boats. Me and bridges, me and boats. Like there are things that come.
Yeah, I seem to remember from the Maryland road trip mystery shawl that you had another.
Oh, I was in Baltimore, and the USS Constellation is in Baltimore Harbor.
Yeah, so we just have a series. You've been sailing instead of driving through road trip, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So that is the plan for leg 6, and we want to see what you choose. Whether you're going to do birds and steel, or whether you want to go on Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Sail the Great Lakes on the U.S. Brig Niagara.
And no matter what you choose, be sure to post your finished photos of leg 6 in our road trip mystery group on Facebook or on Fans of Really Clear on Ravelry. And as always, we will have a prize that we will award to the random drawing person.
Yep.
Is that a phrase?
The random drawing person. I'm seeing a random person drawing.
That we will award to the person who wins the random drawing.
There we go.
So we can look forward to seeing what you do. And then in 2 more weeks, we'll be back here with leg 7. And things will start to get a little bit more pulled together, shall we say. We will see you in 2 weeks.
Woohoo! Happy knitting!